When I see that headband, I'm thinking this is a gift today for all of us.
When I see Keonilei's headband, it definitely brings perspective.
When I see that headband, I just think of a fighter.
To me, it's not just a headband. It was kind of a reminder for me of my past. My mom, at first, she actually put me and my sister in every other sport except for volleyball. And we started begging at the point where she eventually put us in, and it was just something that we just fell in love with. In 2016, I was a freshman in Hauula, Hawaii. For the tryouts, we have to do a run. I felt a little dehydrated and a little fatigued, and I fainted, face forward, falling over the stairs. And I just remember the doctor looking at me and telling me that there was a benign tumor on my left side of my head. And I just remember crying and just really in a lot of shock. I think it was the second day after the surgery, the doctor looked at me crazy because I asked him, hey, so doctor, when can I go back on the court? When do I get to play again? He said, you cannot play right away. Not having volleyball in my life, I just felt empty and I felt like there was something missing. A year and a half into my recovery and after my first surgery, that's when I was in class and I started becoming incoherent and I just couldn't really process things. That's when they had to rush me to the hospital for the second time. I just remember the doctor telling me, I know this is not something you want to hear, but it's grown back and I think we're gonna have to do another surgery. Just hearing that again, it was kind of like a shock for me. In my head, I was just thinking is it just gonna keep growing? I think the thoughts that I had at the time were more negative than the positive. I just kept questioning why it kept happening and why did it have to grow back? It was 6 weeks of straight radiation and it was every day. During the radiation process, I was actually in club volleyball. I would have to drive every morning to the medical center and do the radiation, and then that night I would have club practice. Continuing to play volleyball really helped me recover, fully recover. I remember my doctor asking, is this something that you really want to do? This could be life or death. I remember talking to my parents. There was a lot of tears and they did have a hard time with me immediately saying no, I want to continue to play. At first, I was committed to go play at the University of Southern California, and then there was a coaching switch. That's when Coach Cook and Jalen came into the picture. I felt very comfortable, and I felt like I was at home when I was talking to them.
We went to the same high school. Our high school volleyball coach was actually my chemistry teacher. I think it was either March or April of her senior year, and the dad and her kind of opened up about it. This life-altering experience that she went through a couple of times. I think when they disclosed that stuff, it really showed us wow, she's seriously thinking about coming to Nebraska. Growing up in Hawaii, I know there's not a lot of people that would make that decision to, come halfway across the country to the middle of the country, never been here before, it's cold.
How soon did you buy a new parka when you got to Nebraska?
Oh, right away. Right away.
But at the same time, probably wasn't the most difficult thing she's had to deal with in her life.
The reason why I would wear the headband was to cover up the scar of my hair. And so I started wearing thick headbands.
When you see somebody like her come into your team and program who maybe almost had it all taken away, she has a vibe of her this is like a gift today.
Keonilei Akana coming in, one-handed, leans it all the way out with the left hand.
I absolutely think her love for the sport is unique. When you're about to lose something, it changes how you feel about it. She makes the most of each opportunity to play in this atmosphere.
She has a greater understanding of herself, and that the fact that this team or life in general is bigger than her.
Looking back, it's just so amazing for me to even think about my past and to just think where I am today.
She doesn't identify herself as a volleyball player. She's someone that loves playing volleyball, and she has quite the story to say how she got to where she's at today.